But yeah, but other than that, I mean, it was a great way to spend the summer. It was nice that it wasn't in winter we were outside, because that would have been really horrible.
Towards the end it was cold, because it kind of like went into the fall.
It started
Yeah,
cold.
it started cold, yeah. That's why like you see us with sweatshirts on in the very beginning, and as the summer progressed, it's like 90-something out there. We're all in sweatshirts, you know. But it always turned into, you know, everybody just started drinking heavily after. It was cool. It was like
We had
a
many
film that
hot
we're gonna
parties.
party too. So my worst part of it, probably the scheduling. Because I mean, it was, you know, it was like Julie said, she's very punctual, and I'm not punctual because I know when people say 3 o'clock, no one's showing up till 5 or 5:30. So I'm like, well, I'll be there at 6. It's just the way it's gonna work, you know.
There was time we were setting up a buddy schedule where my responsibility was get Darren and like, something was really bad.
I don't know.
Ryan.
Yeah, I think it was Darren and Ryan.
I think it was Ryan too. I remember one day when we were all yelling, "Where is Ryan? Somebody call him!"
No, that was Darren. He was
Wasn't it
sleeping, yeah.
Yeah, Darren slept through the important shoot one time and they come.
I didn't agree with that. That wasn't good. But yeah, but other than that, it was awesome. It was a good time. So
Yeah, I'd have to say my worst experience with the movie was just the scheduling. Again, I was late for a concert one time because Tom needed a short little 1-minute clip. But other than that, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. Like one of the days, I just didn't even seem like we were filming a movie. I just got wasted. Pretty much.
That pretty much was our movie.
We made
It was just
tacos.
us drunk with the camera.
It was fun. It was fun.
That'd be a great daycare.
Yeah.
adult daycare.
I wouldn't say anything about the movie was miserable at all. There was a good one though when it was actually kind of recently when I left set pretty late and I had over my friends and I get there and they're like, you all right? And I'm like, why? Turns out I guess I had a whole bunch of makeup and movie blood on my face that Tom decided not to tell me about. That was amazing.
We always fought on set, always.
Yeah, a little bit.
I get back at her.
Well, I was just trying to help because there are little inconsistencies. Like we don't have time for this. Right. One of my favorite moments was at the very beginning when we were in the shed and he's filming us from like Killer's point of view outside and he's like, just talk about whatever and I'm gonna film you guys from outside. So we're talking and eventually we just started talking about the movie and like filming and where the other people really are at. And Tom from outside is like, stop talking about the movie. It was definitely pretty good. But overall, I didn't, in fact, Tom was the only person I knew, and I love these people. I'm so glad I'm making friends. It was definitely a great experience, and nothing was miserable. It was great.
Matt, you want to talk about your best and worst moment that night?
Oh, God. Worst was actually just filming it because obviously I had a bag over my head filling up with blood and it actually tasted delicious. It was extremely sticky and it was just gross and all down the inside my shirt and down my butt crack and just like everywhere. It was really nasty. The greatest experience was watching it and seeing it come to life, seeing how Tom edited it together, and it made it worth it. And I was, you know, looking back now, like, oh, it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that sticky, and a little bit of sweat and elbow grease, and you know, you get a product out of it, which is great. So definitely worth it. But real quick, we only have a little bit of time, so I want to open it up to questions. What do you guys want to know?
Can I mention a couple unusual things?
Sure.
First off, the Ryan, who plays the murderer, who is supposedly my son.
Sure.
I didn't know he was in this movie. I've known that guy for about 5 years. He was someplace where I was playing a gig, and I met him. And
You didn't know he was in the movie till tonight?
no, I knew.
Oh.
I knew he was in the movie when I went out and shot.
Oh.
But until that day I went out to shoot, I didn't know
Yeah.
he was in that movie.
Wow.
Right.
And he didn't know this, but I could have brought the most ugly onus to this movie because I personally have very unusual connections to two of the worst movies ever made. There's a movie called The Legend of Alfred Packard, and my ex-wife's Xerox repairman played Alfred Packard in that movie. And then I used to live in this canyon out in Colorado, And there's a movie that was made, I believe, in the 30s, and it's a midget western called The Terror of Tiny Town, which was filmed in that hangar that I
Oh, I love
lived
the
in.
sequel. I'll remake that.
And that Tiny Town is also in The Jerk,
Yeah.
where you see that Steve Martin, right, where the train is, that's Tiny Town, where Steve Martin meets Bernadette Peters. That's the canyon I used to live in Colorado.
Ah, great. All right, any questions? Yeah.
What, is that the camera you use right there?
Actually, yeah, that's what I filmed the movie with.
What kind of camera is it?
Just a Sony Handycam.
How much was it?
Ooh, I bought it a couple years ago, never for the purpose of making a movie, but it's here nor there. I'd say about $400, something like that, maybe less, $350.
What'd you use for sound? Did you just cut?
That,
the sound
yeah,
out?
that.
Pretty
You just
good
gotta be
call.
really good about just telling everyone to shut up a lot, which is rough. That was my favorite choice phrase, but when you have 50 drunk guys behind you, there's no getting them to shut up. You can send 10 people there and tell them to be quiet, it's not gonna happen.
Did you add the sound and stuff at all on the computer, like up
Um,
and down?
A little bit here and there. There was times where I just shut the sound off and dub over with like some white noise and static and stuff. I mean, this was 6 months of me just sitting with my laptop at home, 2-3 hours a night, just working on things. And to be honest, after watching it tonight, I realized there's music missing, there's sounds that are wrong. I got some work ahead of me tonight even, before our big party on Saturday for this movie. You want some question? Yes?
All of your actors, did anybody have any acting training, or was this all trial by fire?
Yeah. We learned along the way who were the strongers and, people who want to have more fun, who had more time to give. Yeah, I mean, really, none of us, how many of us ever did any acting
I
whatsoever.
had drama in 8th
Oh,
grade.
did you?
Yeah.
That explains, because I was surprised how good, I actually felt bad she has died so soon when I watched her scenes, like she's actually good. Every time I watch her vomit scene, I'm like, Oscar. It's one of the best vomits I ever saw. I'm like, she must be bulimic, we don't know it.
Some really good dialogue in that movie. Just everyone was great, honestly. It just
Well, thank them, really. A lot of those are improv. So. I
You
mean,
really
I get
dick,
pumped when
man.
the things I
natural. It was just you could
Darren's
feel
a
the
little
bonding
he-
and everything,
He
and
makes it all.
just good. Felt like you were there.
Yeah, I would much rather be on the actor's side next time than the director's side. I'd have way more fun sitting there in like Darren's shoes, bullshit with them and stuff.
I told you I'll direct / choreograph the next one.
That's the musical, Deadwood's the musical.
Do I get to dance in that one?
If you want it.
Okay.
The Kutzman song will be in there, of course. Right?
My original intention for that song, I want to get the whole cast to like We Are the World, singing it at the end of the credits.
Yes.
It's not enough time yet.
Is that actually a street?
Yeah, it's Kunstmann, but we,
Is it
It was-
really?
Yeah, I got it, but it's not too
No,
far from
it
there.
really, the house that you're filming at was on that street. Like, when you sent me the address, the first day, I was like, really though?
That's kind of where it all started, though, with the Kuns.
Yeah.
actually, I didn't realize that until after I made that joke. Then I realized the street now, I was like, I'm blown away. I'm like, what? The street's actually called that? Because I think we added the word Kunstmann later. Originally it was like Kunst Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And then later we realized the street was Kunstmann, and we're like, wait, that looks really close to,
And that's when they had hot dogs and hamburgers and we were all outside.
Grilling, yeah.
Some Kunst on the menu.
James, do you have any questions?
I have a question for the lady on the end. I was wondering what was her inspiration behind her performance?
That's a good question.
I had no inspiration. No, I had no inspiration. I just told me what to do and I did it.
She was basically a big puppet. I'm like, do this. She's like, okay.
I have 2 more questions, and then we're gonna have to wrap this up. First of all, tell us about the poster.
Oh, well, that was painted by our friend Brooke here. She, I just got to see it for the first time a couple minutes ago. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, you can tell
Tell
about
us about it.
I painted it. And actually, I asked Tom to send me some photo references to work with like our main characters, and he sends me like the worst lit, like dark, grainy pictures you could possibly send somebody to work with. So that was thank you for that. Definitely, it was a snap.
That's what I had.
It took a while, but it was a lot of fun, and it worked out.
Is it all paint or is it like colored pencil and stuff on it?
With all paint, I had to do a couple details with colored pencil, and because I was just so tired of working on it. But yeah, all paint. fun stuff. I hate Kinkos.
Very nice. Last but not least, real quick before I let you guys go, Tom, all of these students in here, they are about to embark on their final project for this
I'm not
class.
helping.
What advice do you have to everyone's about to start on this big, huge project?
Just do something you care, you really want to do. I mean, there was a lot of people in the class who, they did a project to get the grade. In this department, grades don't matter. It's what you get on your portfolio, what you want out of it. So don't worry about getting just an A by doing a simple project you don't care about. If you're going to do something visual in this department, do something fun. I mean, even just something short, like a music video or something like that, or if you want to just do a storyboard or comic or something, if it's something you like, don't worry about it. Like, he'll tell you, you don't got to finish in the class, just do the work, and I found it. I mean, this, I originally hoped to have a really rough cut like this one ready back in May when the class was over. Here we are now in October. But it was worth every minute of it. I mean, I can't deny I had the absolute best time. I remember this guy being one of my best friends over the time. I mean, originally I just met him at the bar where me and Darren and Daniel and Doug here play guitar at. And got to know him a little bit there, and then we talked about doing this movie. He offered me his house, I'd come check it out. And after that, I was just like, cool, I got an awesome friend out of it now,
Right. I think you had a question. Did you have a question?
Yeah, what was the total cost of the production?
If you remove beer, I spent maybe $35 on corn syrup, food color for the blood.
Oh, wow.
And you bought the doll.
The doll was like $90 at an antique shop. I got them talked down to $45. If you exclude a product like that, though, that was you could have borrowed from somebody. I was just gonna buy it that day when I realized she was scared of puppets. I had to change her whole entire death that day. When I saw it, I knew I had to have it. It's where I used to go buy records at. And I'd say other than that, maybe just for like, it was like literally just like some like aquarium hoses, like the pipes for like the blood pumps and stuff. $2 a piece. I mean, really, I'd say the grand total, excluding beer and food, gas, I'd say under $100.
Alright.
Yeah. Man, the camera I already had, the software I already had. It's just I made that Windows Movie Maker.
And a lot of the props were already at the house, so that worked out.
Yeah. Things like duct tape we had to buy,
Did you have a storyboard ready for it?
I did storyboard a few things, but because of time, when I had to change the whole script, I had no time to do a new storyboard. It really was all just up here. I mean, to be honest, halfway through the time, I knew what my script was, and I just really started shooting it without doing the script a lot of times, which is why the improv helped a lot. It helped make it more natural, too, I think, for a lot of the actors. Instead of like reading my lines, which were like written on the fly, kind of like simple and corny, they look at it and go, I wouldn't say that. Like, well, how would you say it? And they would just change a couple little words, and then they had it, But if you're gonna do something like that with your actors, let them have some freedom. I mean, if they have a more about something, like not like Amanda, I never listened to her.
Yeah.
Her and I fought daily.
He's like, I don't want to hear it.
Not because I didn't want to hear it, because it would be a different subject. If it was a line change, that's one thing. But it was like, when you're filming like a thing like that, your brain has got so much information coming in at one time. It's like people talk to you, you just lose your concentration. I couldn't tell how many times I had a script in my hand, there was one line that needed to be said, and then I'd be asked what the line was, and I would just freeze up. My brain would just completely block out. It's frustrating. It was a lot of work, but keep your actors happy, give them beer.
Sounds like this whole production was fueled by alcohol.
Absolutely. Like, how many times we had to drop this poor girl on the ground? Oh, man.
I don't know, 12.
Don't you remember?
I wasn't drinking at that part.
Oh, yes, you were.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't drunk during the drunk scene. I wasn't.
All right, on that note, amazing hard work, but an amazing product to show for it that'll last forever. I'm really, really proud, and let's hear it again. The police have already come by and locked the doors, so we got to scoot. But for people in my class Wednesday, camera techniques and transitions are due, and then